Hey guys, what's happening? Got a lot of big things planned here over the next few weeks and months. I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown on what's cooking here. This weekend, Sunday morning, we are doing the first ride from the museum to the Southwick motocross race. So if you're in town or you're around, meet me at the museum at 9 a.m. Kickstand's up at 10. So I'm at the compound here. That's our motocross track right off the edge of our driveway, lighted motocross track. That's where my kids train to win all the 26 championships. They and I have won racing, and this is our pond. This is a 50-acre estate that it took me about 10 years to build it. 3 diving boards here. It's all solar powered, totally off the grid, geothermal heat, and the pond's 15 feet deep. That's our big solar tower, and I literally got miles of stone wall surrounding it. Why am I telling you this? Well, this is the site of the because I want to share it with you. This is the site of the 500cc shootout that's coming up, the Invitational. I got room for about 15 more guys. If you got a big bore vintage 2-stroke and you want to be involved, it's the No Survivors, No Prisoners weekend. 3 fun days of motorcycles, motocross, and supercross. We're going to the Giant Stadium. We're doing the event here, and just got a lot of really cool stuff planned. So what possesses a guy like me who had a very successful career in the computer industry? My best year, I made well in excess of $1 million net, and I never made less than 6 figures. I was a corporate service provider for Fortune 500 companies, and what possessed me to leave this cushy job? And 8 years ago, when I was 45 years old, bail on that to take a risky endeavor of restoring a 205-year-old factory and turning it into a destination, a hotspot for motorcyclists, and to resurrect what was the armpit, the center of decay for the city of Rockville, a city I've been at since 4th grade. What possesses me to do that? Why did I do this? Why did I leave this cushy position, spend millions of my own money, and borrow $4 million to create this playground for motorcyclists? Well, there's a few key reasons that you may have heard me say before. One, I'm completely nuts about bikes, all motorcycles, from mini bikes up to the biggest, baddest Harleys made, and all forms of racing. And all my adult vacations since I was a kid have been all to go to Daytona, Laconia, Sturgis, Southwick Motocross Nationals, road racing. So I'm nuts about bikes, and I love the city of Rockville, and I love my family. And the concept of my kids don't want anything to do with the computer industry. I still own that company, but my heart's not in it, so obviously. So I haven't worked there in 8 years. So my kids aren't, Kenny didn't want to do that. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to retire from the computer industry and open a bike shop with my kid. That's what I'm going to do. So I decided to do that 18 years ago when he was about a year old. And we implemented that, and we opened the shop in 2013 since he was a freshman in high school. So Junior has been heavily involved with the business since he was a freshman in high school. So that's why I did it. I did it to be with my family, to be around the things I love, motorcycles, and I love restoring old buildings. It's a huge sense of gratification. But there's something I really regret. If I could turn the clock back and start this project over, what would I do differently? Well, for one, I would have documented on video the resurrection of the building. The challenges we've had have been astronomical and continue to be. To take a 205-year-old building that was abandoned for 60 years and turn it into a modern, safe, fire sprinkled, alarmed, and completely rebuilt building was a massive task, and it was all done mostly behind the scenes. I'm going to give you guys a glimpse today of one challenge of a million. I'm going to show you one step in 1,000,000 miles of the project. We're working on the site plan for the project. It's 11 acres, 10 buildings. We have 150,000 square foot. It's a $25 million project when it's done, minimum. We're about $7 million into it now, and we're about a third of the way done. So we've done we've done about 60,000 square foot of 150,000 square foot of buildings, and we've got a lot of plans for the outdoors and possibly, I'll get into those details later. But so what I'm going to show you today is putting in a crosswalk. What does it take to put in a crosswalk to cross the street? Well, you think about it. You see crosswalks everywhere. Most of them are put in by the towns, but if you resurrect or put a building online that hasn't been online, they put that onus on the taxpayer, on the tenant or the owner of the building. In this case, me, who's all the above. I'm the tenant in the building, I'm the owner of the building, and I'm the taxpayer. Speaking of which, I just gave the town a check last week for $110,000 for property taxes for what they're taxing me on the building and my personal property for my businesses and the Bigsby house next door. So we have 11 acres, including the house next door that we bought. $110,000. I was a little bit behind on the taxes, so it was more than 1 year, but and there was a little bit of penalties there, but we basically ran out of money on the project because we're about $2.5 million over budget, and it's taking way longer than we thought to do it. And here's a glimpse why this crosswalk's going to give you an idea of what the journey of 1,000 miles, what one step looks like. It's clear to me now when Deputy Commissioner Tim Sullivan of the State of Connecticut Department of Economic Development said at the party, the block party I had at the museum 3 or 4 years ago, he said, "Ken, what you're doing," in a public address, this video is recorded on our YouTube channel, he said, "Ken, what you're doing is a gift to the state, to the town, and the motorcycle community." And at the time, I didn't realize it was like a gift. I thought I was doing this, I thought I wanted it, I thought this was for me and my family. Well, it's not really, if you think about it. There's no way on God's green earth I could ever sell this place for $6.5 million right now. It's not finished. It's not complete. It is a brownfield. There is pollution on the site. There's over $1 million of environmental issues I still have to deal with in the other buildings and on the grounds. So clearly, it is a gift. I may not have been in the military, and I have mad respect for people who are in the military and the police and the fire department, people who put their life on the line. But I've done, I feel like I've done my part for the community. Over 2,000 hours of community service. We took care of all the graffiti in the town. I started and ran the Rockville Volunteer Services Group and used all my heavy equipment and paint and tools and power washers and bicarbonate sodium blasters and graffiti. I spent over $1,000 just on chemicals to remove graffiti. And we removed all the graffiti in the city over the course of 2 years. So, and I've resurrected the worst part of the city and turned it into what is now one of, if not the nicest parts of the city. So I didn't do my tour of duty in the military, but right here in Rockville, I've been fighting my own battle, that's for sure. Again, mad respect for the military and the police and everybody who puts their life on the line. I've always respected that, and maybe that's one of the reasons I'm doing this now is I didn't go in the military. Maybe I feel guilty for not doing that because my dad was in the Army, so I didn't put my time in there, but I'm doing what I can for our country right here, and you know I love America. So back to what I started talking about with the events we have going on. We're doing this weekend and next weekend, we're doing bike rides with groups to the local Southwick Motocross 338, voted the #1 dirt track in the country many times. And we're going to see a pro motocross race there the next 2 weekends in a row. Then we've got coming up the No Survivors, No Prisoners weekend, 3-day event with big board shootout at the compound, big board 2-stroke drag races, and then we're going to the Giant Stadium, then we're going to Central Village to see a pro motocross race. That's one weekend. Then we got Rockstock, 21 bands, Memorial Day weekend, June 1st. Doug Daner's doing a jump. That's Rockstock, big event. Then I got Mini Bike Mania coming up in June 26th, I think it is. We're having a huge event for mini bikes. I have mini bike clubs coming from all over the East Coast. We've got people that restore old mini bikes. We've got the pit bike racers. We've got trike racers. We've got the Pitster Pros, we've got Striders, we've got Osset electric mini bikes. We've got pretty much anybody who's wants to get involved is going to show up. It's going to be a huge event. Free tickets to all K through 12. We want to get the kids involved. Mini Bike Mania is going to be my most important event of the year as far as I'm concerned. The following month, we've got Motorcycle Mania. That'll be a huge event. Bike shows, bands, block party. That's going to be fantastic. Then we have the second annual Murder Cycles Cafe Fever show in August. Right at the end of August, beginning of September. And then October, we have Rocktober. That's a 3-day music festival at the museum. Just like Rockstock is in the spring, but it's the fall version. Then we have the Haunted Museum Halloween week. So the 6 3-day events coming up. I'm planning for all those. And meantime, trying to run the motorcycle business. What do we do here? We buy and sell motorcycles. That's what we do. We have a staff of 16, 11 full-time, 5 part-time, and we sell on average about 40 to 50 bikes a month. None of them around here. They're all sold on the internet and mostly exported to the UK, Japan, Canada, and 70% of them go to Florida, California, and Texas. So 30% are exported. That's what we do. And we're trying to ramp it up. We sold about $1.5 million of bikes last year. If you're wondering what we sell, check the channel. There's over 1,700 motorcycles on there, every one of them that came through our facility. We do a video on every bike, and it's permanently on YouTube for our records, so you can check it out if you want to see what we've been doing there. If you have a bike you want to sell, please call us. We buy collections. We buy motorcycle memorabilia. Of course, you can donate it. The New England Motorcycle Museum is a 501c3 corporation. So limited. It's a 501c3, a nonprofit corporation. So if you want to donate a bike to the museum or memorabilia, you can get a tax-deductible donation form that Junior can fill out for you. We're pulling into Rockville right now. I've been doing this drive almost weekly, if not daily, since 4th grade. My mom used to work down here, so I've been here my whole life. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please, this far in the video, it astounds me. We've had 8 million individual views on our channel, over 1 million last month, and we only have 19,000 subscribers. It's a little red button right there. Just click subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny. And if you want to unsubscribe, you can easily unsubscribe. Just hit the same button and unsubscribe. So, but it helps us out. The more subscribers we have, the more serious YouTube takes us, and the higher profile our videos will get. And this is our main form of communication with the world, is YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't, so please like the channel, and also go on Facebook and like the New England Motorcycle Museum. If you're wondering about the events I just described, they're all on our events page, or at least most of them are, all the way through to July. Our schedule is actually, the complete schedule is on the bike night list. I've got a Word doc on there. So go to event pages, go to Facebook, go to New England Motorcycle Museum, click on the event pages. All our events will be on there. The events that I'm creating, we are making events that are repeatable, expandable, and will continue to grow. The Cafe Racer Show, our 2nd annual. Rocktober will be our 2nd annual. The Rockstock, next year we'll do that again. Mini Bike Mania, absolutely, definitely going to be doing Mini Bike Mania. So I'm cruising down West Main here. These are my old stomping grounds since I was a kid. This is an old road. This has not been repaved in probably 30 years. It's in very rough shape. The good news is the town, that's one of the mills next to our mill that they restored. The town that's all condos. Matter of fact, all of the old mills got turned into condos except for ours. Ours is the only one that became a commercial interest. So we're coming up on the property right here on the right. This is where it begins, right in front of the Bigsby house. That's the house on the hill there. So